Hello and welcome back to the Freelancer's Tea Break, the short and sweet podcast you can enjoy while you're making a cuppa. I'm smiling whilst recording this because this is like the third time I've done this because I have a little tickle in my throat, which I think potentially might be a cold coming on. So I'm going to try and batch as many podcasts as I can today before it really kicks in. So I'm recording this, what's the date today? The 7th of January. And I suspect this will go out in a couple of weeks. And at the moment, everyone's like, oh, I'm fully on board. I'm going to achieve all my goals. I'm going to smash it. 2025 is going to be the best year ever. Completely forgetting the fact that it's January. So it's right in the middle of winter. So energy levels are low. Days are shorter. We probably all need more vitamin D because there's no sunshine. So there's a whole ton of reasons why it's actually a lot more challenging to implement our goals and things like that. So I wanted to talk through some of the things that might help if you feel your goals are slipping away from you. And I do want to say, be kind to yourself because you're only a few weeks in and it doesn't have to always be like this massive start to the year. Sometimes we've got to ease in. If you like the book Wintering, I really like the concept of kind of like gently getting through this month and next month until spring. And then like a hedgehog coming out of my hibernation and things like that. Anyway, right, that's a total tangent. Let's go back to talking about what happens if you feel like you are not currently achieving your goals or you've fallen off the wagon or you've lost momentum, which is all very normal, whether you're neurotypical or neurodivergent like me. So first of all, identify what the bottleneck is for you achieving that. So what is making it really hard for you to get through achieving your goals at the moment? So say, for example, this is not one of mine because I know what I'm like, but say I was going to say, I'm going to go to the gym every day this week, or I would never suggest every day this week. That is mad. But, say I said I'm going to go 3 times a week and then it's the 3rd or 4th week of January and I've been 3 times all month. So then I would identify what is the bottleneck for me getting to the gym. Now, like a lot of things, it's not often being at the gym that's the problem. It's getting to the gym. It's like finding the energy to find your gym clothes, find your trainers, get out the door, get to the gym. Once you're there, it's fine. You're doing it. It's that first momentum of the start. And the same goes for, say, you're suddenly going to decide to be showing up on LinkedIn every day. And then you realize it's been like 3 posts. So what's the bottleneck to stopping you doing it? Is it coming up with content ideas? Is it finding the time to write them? Is it imposter syndrome? Working out what your bottleneck is makes it a lot easier then to identify how you can overcome that. So for example, with the say with the gym example, make it as easy as possible to achieve that. So say, for example, leaving your trainers and your gym workout gear right next to your bed so that when you're waking up in the morning, you can get dressed straight away. Or making it as hard as possible. What was it called? It's called creating friction, basically, to not achieve it. So how can you put something in your way that you can't get it until you go to the gym? So it might be one of the ways I've seen this, people do this, and I don't have the self-discipline to stop myself. But some people will only watch particular TV shows or only listen to particular podcasts when they're at the gym. And that creates that friction that makes them go. So that's one way you can do it at the gym. But for example, with LinkedIn, if it is coming up with content ideas, then do you need to set up an hour in a co-working venue or with somebody else to bounce around ideas? Do you need to spend a bit of time with ChatGPT, but actually put it in your calendar and do it? What do you need to do to come up with content ideas? And then once you've got the content ideas, your next bottleneck might be scheduling them or putting them out there and remembering to do it. So what can you do to enable that? Is it putting something in your diary every day so that you've blocked out that time to do it? Is it hiring a VA who can schedule them for you? Have a think about different ways that you can do that. So identifying each of the different ones will really help. That beeping is my Instapot going off because one of mine was actually to cook more and use my Instapot more. It beeps a lot. I don't know if you can hear it. And I found actually one of my bottlenecks was actually remembering to use it. So what I do now is I do it at lunchtime because I'm making my lunch anyway. And then I put the stuff in the Instapot while I'm making a sandwich or whatever. And then I can just reheat it later. If I try and remember to do it at 5 o'clock at night, it's not going to happen. So identify the bottleneck can really help with that. Next thing is revisit your why. Why do you want that goal? Do you really want that goal? Is this for you? How do you feel when you've achieved it? And you might want to do some kind of visualization or journal entry on how you will feel and what your life will look like when you have achieved that goal. So say your goal is to bring on 3 new clients next month and you're really struggling and you haven't got to that point yet. Revisit that why. Why is that so important? Is it for the very basic reason you need to pay your bills? In which case, think about how good you will feel when you've achieved that. Imagine what those clients are like. And that might give you enough motivation to actually go out there and start doing the things. And it also might help you write down all the ways that you can find those clients. And if you're struggling with that, I do have a freebie. I will pop it in the details of the notes in the podcast. But I have a couple of freebies actually. One, which is 5 ways to find your next client, which is a training, like a 20-minute video training. It's probably even less if you use the video speed up thingy that you can get in your Chrome browser. And I also have a PDF of all the different ways you can find clients. So if you're struggling with that, that is definitely something you can go have a look at there. So revisit your why. Get very clear on why you want that. And is it something you want or is it something other people want? It's very easy to get carried away and start thinking that something that everybody tells you want, or you should want is your goal. So for example, the most common one I see is six-figure businesses. Like so many people are like, this year I'm going to have a 6-figure business. And then I've had clients who say this and I say, that's brilliant. What are you going to do with that money? And they have no idea because there's no why behind it. There's just a general feeling that that's what we all want to achieve. So make sure you're very clear on why you want something, and that can help with your motivation. And then finally, this is your permission slip to adjust that goal. Just because you set your goal like that in January, sometimes we need to adjust it. We need to make it more realistic or more flexible for the time of year. Progress over perfection is something that I really believe in, and sometimes we need to tweak things and adjust them and treat things as experiments, and that can really help to pursue our goals a little bit better. So let's go back to finding new clients next year or next month. Say you initially were saying, I want 6 new clients next, and that's now looking really challenging due to various different reasons. But you've got, well, first of all, you can make it a meet, stretch and smash. So you could say 3 would be the base, meet, 4 would be stretch, 6 would be smash. So if you then achieve 3, brilliant. As long as you can cover your bills and everything, that's really great. And then meet, smash, if you do that afterwards, that's even better. But then you haven't failed your goal. I don't really believe in failing goals anyway, because with anything, as long as you've tried something and experimented and made some progress, then that's better than not doing anything at all. So you have my permission slip to adjust those goals. And it doesn't matter if other people are like, oh, why have you changed? No one's going to say why you changed your goal. Like, unless it's like, say you're going for like 5 marathons this year and then you decide that actually you're just going to do a 5-minute walk around the block. But even then, it's a funny story you can tell someone. So please don't feel afraid to adjust your goals. I'm not saying give up on them, but just adjust them. Do you need to make them a bit easier? Do you need to have that meet, stretch and smash of having 3 different levels? Do you need to change the way that you're going to approach it? So just to recap, if you feel like you are falling behind on your goals or anything like that, first of all, adjust your language, because goals are just something that you're intended to get towards. It's a destination. And sometimes we take the journey and we find better things along the way, or we find shortcuts, or we find blockages that mean that goal, that destination is not for us, but there's something else out there. So identify the bottleneck, revisit your why, and adjust it if you need to. You can adjust it each month. This is why it's quite good to review them every month as well, not just have something for the whole year. Because how much do you change in a year? So monthly check-ins are a really good idea. Right, so that's that. Hope you found that useful. I've got one more recording to do after this, and I'm hoping my voice is going to keep for it. This is the joy of doing podcasting as one of your key parts of your content. You are screwed during the winter seasons when the colds and the flus come round. But hopefully I can hold off for another episode. So I hope you have a wonderful freelance week. I hope you continue making progress on the goals that you want and you feel good about them. Have a wonderful freelance week.